Solve the equation for everything in between 0 and 2 pi. I have 3 cosecant squared theta on the left, and I have 1 on the right and 2 cosecant squared theta on the right. So I'm thinking these two will combine somehow. So why don't I subtract 2 cosecant squared theta from both sides? Cosecant squared theta. And while I'm at it, why don't I subtract 1 from both sides too, so the right side becomes 0. 3 cosecant squareds minus 2 cosecant squareds is 1 cosecant squared theta, and then minus 1 equals 0. Now, if you're looking at this and thinking, wait a minute, something squared minus 1, which is also a square, can I make that difference of squares? And what that would look like is the square root of that plus the square root of that times the square root of that minus the square root of that. So cosecant squared, theta, plus 1. Cosecant theta minus 1 equals 0, and now I have 0 product property. Okay, cosecant theta plus 1 equals 0, and if I subtract 1 from both sides, cosecant theta equals negative 1. I'll deal with that in a minute. Cosecant theta minus 1 equals 0, add 1 to both sides, cosecant theta equals 1. All right. Real talk, I don't like cosecant. I don't deal with cosecant. I'd rather view cosecant like this, so I'm going to rewrite it like this. I'm allowed to do that. 1 over sine theta equals negative 1, and 1 over sine theta equals regular 1. I'm allowed to do that because cosecant is the same as 1 over sine. Okay? And if I do that, and kind of treat this like a proportion and do crisscross applesauce, I would have sine theta equals negative 1, because I would do these two multiplied together, these two multiplied together, and multiply both sides by negative. And I would have sine theta equals regular 1. If you inverse sine both sides, that allows theta to be all by itself. So if I inverse sine both sides, I now have theta equals the inverse sine of negative 1, and theta equals the inverse sine of positive 1. Okay, theta equals the inverse sine of negative 1 is asking you, when is the y value equal to negative 1 on a unit circle? Well, only one spot, and that's at the bottom of the y-axis. And that happens at 3 pi over 2. So theta is going to be 3 pi over 2. Similarly, when is it 1? Well, that's when it's on the positive y-axis, and that's at regular pi over 2. And those are my only two answers for this guy. Okay, those are my only two answers for this guy, just them. And yeah, that solves my equation. And that also fits the constraints of between 0 and 2 pi. Tons of fun.